Good morning and welcome to Circle Time. Sue, our friends are here. Good morning, good morning. How are you? Good morning, good morning. How are you? I'm fine, I'm fine. Hope you are too. I'm fine, I'm fine. Hope you are too. Well, today, Sue, we're going to talk about letter M. M is for mouse. The story we're going to read is If You Take a Mouse to School. I wonder what's going to happen in the book. Why don't you have a seat? Because before we do any of our letter of the day things, we've got to do our job. What is our class job? We've got to feed our pet fish, Fred. Hi, Fred. Here's some fish food for you. Well, now that we have fed Fred, let's turn around and see if we can figure out what day it is. The month is April, and let's reach into our can and see how we will count today. It says like a mouse. So can you make a squeaky voice like a mouse? Squeak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a mouse, 7, 8, 11, 12. Today is April 12th. Can you say that? April 12th. If you go up to the top, you can see that the day of the week is right in the middle, and it starts with W. So what day starts with W? Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Let's sing our Days of the Week song.
Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday.
Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday.
Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week.
Well, it is time for us to check the weather, so look outside and see what your weather is like today. Look outside the window. Is your weather sunny? Is it cloudy or rainy? Maybe the trees are blowing. Is it windy? When I do like this, shout out whatever your weather is. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather like today? It is out today. It is out today. Well, let's dress Weather Bear. Weather Bear, we're going to put on some pants for you and a t-shirt. And can you remember what season it is? The season is spring. Good job, spring. Okay, well, that was our calendar and weather time. And now it's time for our letter of the day. Today's letter is the letter M. Can you say M? M. This is how I decorated my letter M today. I put some whiskers and a nose, eyes and ears. I made my M look like a little mouse. You can color your M too if you like to. So what letter is this? It's letter M. If your name has letter M, stand up. If your name has letter M, stand up. If your name has letter M, if your name has letter M, if your name has letter M, stand up. Well, this is an idea for decorating your letter M today. Let me show you how to write letter M, and you can practice this with me if you'd like. To make a letter M, we must first make a number 1. Go back to the top, slide down and walk back up and fall straight down again. 1, down and up and down. That's how you make a big letter M. Would you like to practice? You can use your own board, you can use your own paper, skywrite if you don't have any paper, or you can get a copy of this handwriting paper, Parents, on my website. The link is below. Down and up and down. Number 1, go back to the top, slide to the bottom, walk back up to the top, and then fall straight down again. Down, up, down. You can practice your big letter M's and also your little letter M's today. This is little M. Make a little number 1, trace back up and over 2 times. 1, up and over. That's how you make a little M. Let's practice little M. 1, up and over. Little M goes downstairs on the handwriting house paper. So find the stairs, and that's where little M belongs. Over 2 times. Little number 1, and then over 2 times. That is the little letter M. I would love to cheer for you if you want to show me your letter M. And you were listening and learning, so that's awesome. Very good. Thank you. You get a sticker today for handwriting time. Well, now it's time for us to talk about the sound that M makes. Letter M makes the sound Put your lips together. Hum. It kind of sounds like me when I'm eating something yummy like chocolate cake. What do you like to eat? What's your favorite food? That's what letter M says. Take your hand and rub your tummy and say, Well, that's the sound that M makes, and that was all of our letter time for today. For art, we're going to make a lunchbox. So let's head over to the art table and I'll show you how. We're making a lunchbox for art today because the little mouse in the story is going to want to go to school. The story is called If You Take a Mouse to School, and he's going to want a lunchbox at school to go with him. And he's actually going to put a book that he makes in the lunchbox. So we're going to make a lunchbox by taking a piece of paper and folding it in the middle like that. Then I think I'm going to round the corners so that it looks just a little bit more like a lunchbox. So I'm just going to take my scissors and kind of cut the corners off. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to make some handles for my lunchbox. So I just have some paper and I'm going to cut the letter C out of the paper. Let me show you. Now I'm doing 2 at once. I just folded the paper so that I could get 2 at the same time. So there's my letter C. And I folded it, so I cut 2. And I'm going to glue those to my lunchbox. This will be the lunchbox handle. You can decorate the outside of your lunchbox however you want to. In the story, the little mouse has a dinosaur lunchbox. So he put dinosaurs on. You could put stickers on there. You could just draw pictures. You could write your name on there. So decorate your lunchbox however you'd like to. I think my lunchbox is going to have maybe some flowers on there. Okay, so once you get your lunchbox decorated however you'd like, then you can open it up and put some things inside. You could draw pictures of some foods on the inside, or you could cut some pictures from a magazine. I think I'm going to cut some pictures from a magazine. Might glue some pretzels in there. See what else I can find. If you don't have a magazine, just draw some pictures of your favorite foods inside your lunchbox. I see some raspberries right here. I'll cut out some raspberries and put those in my lunchbox. So just glue some foods inside your lunchbox, and then you can close it up. And there you have it, a little lunchbox for art today. Well, one of the things that most of us put in our lunchboxes is a sandwich, and we make sandwiches with bread. Today for science, we're going to do a little activity with bread. We're going to try to make mold grow on some bread. So first, though, let me show you a picture of what mold looks like on bread under a microscope. Whoa, that's what mold looks like when it's under a microscope. That's pretty interesting. It looks like something from the Lorax movie. Well, this is what it looks like on the bread. Yuck. The mold actually has these tiny little spores that release from the tops of these ball-looking shapes, and those little spores grow more mold. That's why this piece of bread now has lots of mold on it. Those little spores came off and made more and more mold. Mold is a type of fungus. Mold grows in the shape like this, kind of like a multicellular filament called a hypha, but it looks to me like a lollipop. Mold grows from spores that float in the air. There are thousands of types of mold. Some are good and some are bad. A lot of cheese and antibiotics are created from mold as a base. Mold is usually fuzzy. Mold is considered a single organism. So those were just some facts about mold. Well, let's make some mold. Well, actually, we're not making it. We're collecting it because mold is everywhere in the air. Little mold spores are. Mold grows really best when it's wet. So I'm going to put some water on my bread, and when it's warm or dark. So I'm going to take this piece of bread and put it in a brown bag. And then close it up. So we're going to keep that in our classroom the rest of the week. So we'll check on our bread and see if it's molding later in the week if you join me here for our circle time. Well, our book today is called If You Take a Mouse to School. So let's read that before we say goodbye. If You Take a Mouse to School by Laura Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you take a mouse to school, he'll ask you for your lunchbox. When you give him your lunchbox, he'll want a sandwich and a snack for later. Then he'll need a notebook and some pencils. He'll probably want to share your backpack too. When you get to school, he'll put his things in your locker and take a look around. He might do some math and spell a word or two. He'll even try a science experiment. Then he'll need to wash up. You'll have to take him to the bathroom. Once he's nice and clean, he'll be ready for lunch. On the way to the lunchroom, he'll see some building blocks. He'll build a little mouse house. and make some furniture to go in it. Then he'll need some books for his bookshelf. He'll start writing one of his own, so he'll need a lot of paper. He'll probably ask you for your pencils. When he's finished, he'll want to read his book to you. Then he'll want to take it home, so he'll put it in your lunchbox and tuck it in a safe place. When the bell rings, he'll run out to wait for the bus. While he's waiting, he'll play a game of soccer. Then he'll ask you to shoot a few baskets and do a little skateboarding. When he stops to catch his breath, he'll want to eat his snack. So he'll probably ask you for your lunchbox, and chances are if he asks you for his lunchbox, he'll ask you to take him back to school. Well, that was a fun story, and I hope that you'll join me tomorrow for letter N. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.